Namaskaram, my good people. Namaskaram. I greet you in the good name of the Lord. I hope you are well. So, I'm continuing with our journey. So, today we're going to get right straight into it. We're talking golf betting now, golf betting in detail. So, as you all, as you can, like I've been talking a lot about odds and all that. So, pretty much sports betting is all about odds, right? It's the odds of will this event happen, and so obviously if a player is the best player that is the prime. I mean, he's the top player. He's the Ronaldo of his time, or he's in his sport, right? So obviously his odds of winning in tournaments are obviously always going to be what he's gonna have high odds of winning. So the house is obviously gonna set the odds for him low, which means you have to maybe bet more money for that person to win. But if somebody is perceived as an underdog, then the odds obviously of them winning are low. So that means he gets a high number, so you might win a lot of money if you place maybe even little money on that person. But here's the catch: that event might not happen because you know so I guess you understand. I don't even know if I've been making sense what I was just saying just now. So I just want to touch on odds because odds are very important, right? Yeah, you don't that's why you have to bet wisely. You can't just take silly odds just because the money that you might win looks good. No, there has to be a balance of rationality and the data and what. As much as it's real time, things can happen, things do happen. Juventus can lose 5-0, you know but essentially with golf betting, the nice thing with golf betting is it's I always say it's a low risk. It can be a low risk and a possibility of a high reward sport when you're betting in it. Literally, if you have say 50 pula or 50 rands, even 40 pula, 40 rands, I don't know, maybe $40, but $40 is a lot of money if you change it. But so you can place a lot of bets with that money because the odds in golf are usually just always, you get guys going at 50. So if you put $1 on a guy who's going at 50, possibility of you winning 50 pula or whatever amount, or 80, is high. So that means you can place bets at really low money, which allows you, as I was talking in my previous videos, that you need to start small, like understand this thing first and see patterns and try and predict and sort of be a sort of a mini master of you know sort of working with that data as much as it's real time, right? So golf allows you that you can place bets for guys who are less likely to win, whose odds are usually low. Like you could stand a chance to win a lot of money. Say maybe a player it's at 200, and sometimes, a lot of times, it does happen that those guys will get into contention of winning and stuff like that. So I will touch on markets as to how within golf you can place your bets, like top five, and I'll get to that soon in a bit. So essentially with golf, sometimes you can have two accounts, two betting accounts, but it doesn't mean that now it means that you should abuse betting. If some It's just so that you work with the odds. Like, you don't even have to put a lot of money in it. Like I was saying, golf you can bet with really low money. So if you have say 100 pula or 100 rands and you have two accounts, you can put 15 both, 15 both, and be able to balance the bets, be able to place bets on certain players on the other app, and then bets on certain players because you never know. It's real time. At the end of the day, there's only one game that we are watching, and you know sometimes you find that you can lose all the money in that. I mean, all the bets not win. Yeah, all the money, all the bets not win any, and then on the other, you can win. So with golf, funny thing is sometimes you lose, but you sort of win. Like for instance, you place 100 pula, right, to place bets, and then maybe you can win 50 pula. So you've lost 50 pula, but on the bright side, you still have a bankroll, right? You're still able to bet. You might not even have to deposit now. You have to, because essentially, ideally, you wanna deposit less, right? You wanna deposit less into the, because you wanna beat the house at the end of the day, right? So ideally, you wanna deposit once, but it's rare that that would happen. You might be on a winning streak, then at some point it might stop. You might need the money, and you might have to withdraw it or whatever, and but yeah, essentially that's how golf is. You can win sometimes, not the have a loss, but still have money to be able to bet, because a bankroll is important, right? To be able to have a bankroll to bet on. So in terms of elite golf, I'm specifically focused on primarily two markets, which is the DP World Tour and the PGA World Tour, right? So these are like what would I say? They're sort of, if in soccer you sort of have the EPL and you have the La Liga. These are the sort of like the league, or yeah, the league that goes, but it's not like a league. It's tournaments. It's just like a calendar for the PGA Tour, and they have the same tournaments every year. Like you have the Memorial this year. Last year we had the Memorial. Many years back there was the Memorial. Like this weekend, coming weekend after the US Open is going to be the Travelers, which was there last year, right? So this also helps you to go back to the data for last year, because like I said, golf courses are different. So certain players might be good on certain golf courses. So it's best to know that some of those players who've won that in that particular golf course, then you might predict better in that case, because data. You also have to rely on data in a way, as much as it's real time, like I always say, right? So PGA Tour is basically more of the American. It's the American sort of. It's the cream de la cream of golf, if I may put it like that. Like the main one. And then DP World Tour it's the European guys, but you get some of the guys playing on both. Every now and then they'll go, like, yeah, they'll go play on the PGA. But the PGA, like, you obviously have to play better on the DP to get, like, not everybody makes it to the PGA. It's a whole, you work your way up to get to the PGA. So in my next video, I'm gonna expand further on this in the part 2 of this, right? Expand more on the DP and just touch a bit on them, and then move further, if I may put it that way. Ish. Forgive my mumbo jumbo, like. Alright, but anyways, namaskaram. God bless.